Hey guys, welcome to HipHughes History. We're hitting up McCutcheon versus FEC, American government gangster style. How do you like that for a new Supreme Court case? So I don't care if you're just walking around on planet Earth, one of those lifelong learners, or whether you're geeking up, getting ready for the exam. So let's do it. McCutcheon versus FEC, big time Supreme Court case. All right, we're dealing with campaign finance, guys. Can the government constitutionally regulate monies that people are giving to politicians that are running for office? So we have to start off in 1971 with FEC, which is kind of creepy to say. It's the Federal Election Campaign Act, which is going to set up the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, McCutcheon versus FEC. And in 1974, they kind of passed these new resolutions, these new acts, which turn into laws in a sense, which are going to be really specific in terms of not only the maximum requirements that you can give John Doe running for office, but also what's called, get ready for the big word of the day, aggregated limits. Aggregated. Meaning not just the money I can give an individual politician, but how much money I can spread across the table. We don't want people, according to this philosophy or this idea, to have too much influence over the government. We want people to be able to influence their government, but not unduly because they have a lot of money. That's kind of the idea of these rules. And then in 1976, this is important, there's a huge court case, Buckley versus Valeo. And what the Supreme Court says in this decision is that the government can't just really regulate money in campaigns completely. That they have to have a really good reason, what's called a compelling interest, because the court equates the money with freedom of speech. Now we're in the First Amendment territory. So if the government's going to take away your freedom of speech, whether that's your speech like that or your speech in terms of giving money to someone you support, they better have a really good reason to do it. That's what the court says. And the court says that there are reasons, like quid pro quo. We don't want people buying politicians. Quid pro quo, Latin for you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Basically meaning we don't want people to give someone money to get a law, right? And we also don't want what would be called undue influence. That these people, because they're giving a lot of money, can just call up and have access to a politician, where the regular Joe guy on the street, he couldn't get hold of a politician if he, banged his head against a wall. Okay, so here we go. We're getting closer to the case. Now, not going to lie, McCain-Feingold, 2002, or the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act, is going to update those rules and set kind of new 2-year limits in terms of the amount of money that one can give not only an individual politicians, but aggregatedly across the gambling table. Are you ready? Are you with me? Let's bang to the facts of the case and get into the answer. So Sean McCutcheon is a little upset because he can only give, really in a 2-year period, about $33,000 to a candidate. But with the maximum aggregated rules, he can only give to 16 politicians. You can also give to political parties. And remember, we're not even dealing with outside influence groups called super PACs. Those are unregulated. You can give as much money as you want. That's the Citizens United decision. If you don't know about that decision, you can click that link right there and you'll sip off and learn about it. But we're only dealing with people that are running for federal office and basically the Democratic and Republican Party. And he wants to give more. He doesn't want to break the individual limits. He wants to put more money on the table because he says he believes in more candidates. So that's my freedom of speech. So when this goes to the Supreme Court, it's a 5-4 decision. It's ideological. Conservatives, the 5. We have the Roberts Court, so you have Roberts, Scalia, Kennedy, Alito, and Clarence Thomas. And they're going to take this side, that the government's compelling interest of quid pro quo and of not having undue influence doesn't pass muster, because just because you're giving money doesn't mean that money is to secure access or that money is for a specific piece of legislation. You can't crawl in the head of the rich guy and know why he's giving money. Maybe he just supports that politician. So that compelling interest is outweighed by freedom of speech. That's what it comes down to. For the conservative court, this is a freedom of speech case, and that's all there is to it. The other side, the liberal side, which is going to be Stephen Breyer and Sotomayor and Kagan and Ginsburg, they're going to say, common sense, man. Of course they're buying influence. Of course they're wanting something for the money that they're giving. So we should keep these limits in place. But that's what it boils down to. Now, What does this ruling mean for Sean McCutcheon? It means that now he doesn't have to give just to 16 candidates. He can give to every politician running for federal office and to any political party involved with federal elections. So that limit, which was probably about 300,000 under the old rules, now becomes, if you maximize your bets, about $3.5 million. What's the next step? The next step is, do we take Buckley Valeo to its natural conclusion from Citizens United and McCutcheon and just ban regulation on speech? Money. So you decide. I don't know what to do. I'm Johnny Cash, baby. I'm walking the line. Throw it down in the comments below, because I love when you do the jabbing with the ideology. But I even love it more if you're going to pass your test and be able to write your paper. Make sure you check out some more HipHughes history. You can click my mug right now, and you'll zip through the internet to the YouTube page where there's like 300 videos. And you should subscribe, because it's the right thing to do. Giddy up for the learning. Where attention goes, energy flows, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time when we do some of those teachings on the YouTubes.